Welcome to Betty's prestigious property show. Click or call, we do it all. Timber frame homes is a traditional building technique in which large timber is joined to create a strong and beautiful structure. The combination of heavy timber and the joinery design does not only make for a strong and enduring structure, but also make timber frame homes much better equipped to survive extreme weather events such as hurricanes and earthquakes, unlike standard homes. While these homes are built to be permanent, their method of construction allows for them to be disassembled and reassembled anytime. Key advantages are: 1. They cut costs associated with construction. 2. They can be built in a short time. 3. They can last for over 100 years. 4. They are flexible. 5. They are made of sustainable materials and are environmentally friendly. Still need persuading? Brian from Easy Housing is here to break it down for us.
My name is Brian Kulubia. I work with Easy Housing as a sales executive, and I have a background in sustainable forestry and real estate practice. Easy Housing, like the name sounds, on the surface, yes, we are easy, but to give you a brief about what Easy Housing is all about, we are a timber construction company which deal in the use of timber that has been sourced from well-managed forests to build homes, decent homes for people, especially in Uganda, with presence in different countries such as Mozambique, Tanzania, Kenya, and Ghana. We chose to use timber to make a difference from the conventional construction after realizing that conventional construction of brick and mortar was not only cheap, was not only expensive, but also it was distracting and disastrous. When you look at the numbers out there, you realize that the biggest percentage of the global carbon dioxide emissions come from brick and mortar and the use of cement and steel. So Easy Housing, we are making everything easy by building with a material that can easily be planted and replanted, which is timber in this case. The type of houses we are building start from a 1-bedroom up to 4-bedroom house. We also have a studio unit. To give you like the specifics of the sizes, we have a studio that is 25 square meters, that is 5 meter by 5 meter. We have a 1-bedroom studio, a 1-bedroom house that is 31 square meters, which is the house you are seeing here. And we also have a 2-bedroom house, which we call 2-bedroom monopitch. And this is 42 square meters. Then we have a 3-bedroom house, which we call a 3-bedroom monopitch. So the categories that I'm mentioning here, you are hearing the term monopitch. Monopitch means a house that is having a slanting roof on one end. Just that. So we call it mono because it's a one roof slanting on one end. So all these monopitches, the prices range from, if I go about the pricing, the price is between 38 to 63 million Ugandan shillings. Prefabricated timber house, prefab means you are going to make the house from a certain place in a controlled environment. In this case, we manufacture the house in a factory and then load the panels on a truck, then we come and assemble it to your specified area on the site. So prefab, you are bringing all the pieces of timber together and you build the frame, you build the wall, you build the floor, you build the roof frame. You are bringing everything together by, in this case, we are using the screws. We are not using glue, but we are using screw. So we use the screws and make the different parts of the building. Then when that is done, we have to ensure that at least every piece that we have made is in its right order and right quality. It is different from what you would have done on site whereby on site you may not realize that you have made a mistake. You will just make it on site and the customer gets their home. But if without high precision on the control, you may realize that there was a mistake after some time. But in a factory, you can even test everything before bringing it to the site. So prefab, you are making all the pieces of the house before bringing them to the site and in a controlled environment. The reason why you should choose timber homes over brick and mortar houses, the first thing I can say is the first construction. I have been to places where someone has been building a big building, or is building a number of units, but it's not going to get anything out of it even in 7-month period. But with timber, you are able to set up a house today in a short period of time. Maximum it can take you like 4 months if you are to go through all these process, site planning, design work, whatever. But actual prefabrication takes 2 to 3 weeks in the factory. Then assembling it on the site may take you around 4 weeks, which is like a 1 month. So that's the one reason you should choose it. Secondly, timber is eco-friendly. It's a material which you can source from one area and then you can replant it, because these are trees that we plant. We are not using natural forests. You plant your pine tree, after 15 years you harvest it and use it for construction. Then you replant. So the cycle repeats. It's like a person who is in the business of keeping poultry or cows. There will be a certain time when these animals are going to reach their maturity, and then you can sell them off and then you bring a new stock. The same applies to timber. But with brick and mortar, you are using the soil instead that you would have used for cultivation, and then you are using it to make bricks. You end up creating ditches, you are creating spaces that are going to be occupied by stagnant water, and then something that is going to be flooded. You are like eating up on the environment. So it's not eco-friendly. Then you may be also wondering, like, why shouldn't I go for a container instead of a timber house? Containers are very hot, they are not energy efficient. You'll be in a container, but you'll be like roasting yourself in a metallic cabin. In this case, timber is a good insulator. That's why you will go in most offices that are even built out of concrete, and you find that the roof of that office has been insulated by timber. Why? Why not a metallic part? If you are going for a container which is made out of steel, you have to use a lot of wood to insulate it. All that is cost. So here, this is one advantage you are having. It's a good insulator, and also it's a renewable material. Another point I can tell you why you should choose a timber house is that these timber homes are cheaper or more affordable when you compare to conventional construction of brick and mortar. Brick and mortar actually is very expensive in the long run. The amount of money you will put in just building a concrete slab before even building the actual walls, it's a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of waste that you are going to have there on the site. Because beyond building a house, you go through the cleaning process. You are removing all these pieces of bricks, of which they are even not decomposing. Where are you going to put all those construction waste? Here we don't create any waste in the process. We bring for you a house, and you will not have waste on your site, and you are like, now these people have finished constructing for me. Where am I putting all this waste? We minimize that in the factory. We make sure that only the exact parts that are required to build a complete house are the ones that we are bringing. So we don't have to bring for waste. So there are very many other advantages also, like aesthetics, acoustics. When you are in a timber house, there is a way you feel and connect with the nature as compared to brick and mortar. Actually, brick and mortar is very toxic if you go into the nitty-gritty. If a timber house was to get fire and a brick and mortar house was to get fire, the toxicity of the fumes from the steel and the cement will suffocate you in a very short period of time. But timber is just the normal smoke that will be coming out of it, and so you have more space to evacuate. And why pine actually in all other trees? Most people in Uganda and sub-Saharan Africa are in the business of growing trees. Timber takes a short period of time to grow, like pine here. If I compare a pine tree and a mahogany tree, mahogany will have to take like 45 years to get a good piece of timber out of it. Pine, you are going to take like 15 years maximum, and you are harvesting it. So we are partnering with companies that have management plans where they know that they are going to harvest trees for 20 years without running out of them. You may be wondering, how will this happen? But people in Uganda have been taking sugar cane for over 100 years. But have we ever run out of sugar that we are importing sugar from another country? No. Why? When someone is into that business of sustaining the process, you never run out of it. So there is no way at one point that we shall ever run out of timber just because we are using it for construction. Because once construction has been done, there is a replanting process that will take place. So that cycle will keep us building more homes in a short time and also in an affordable manner. We are not causing deforestation actually. You may be wondering, are we causing deforestation? No. We are not causing deforestation because for each house we are building, we are sustaining. If you place an order for a house today and decide I want a house of 2 bedrooms, we shall place an order for timber from the factory. Then the people in the factory will place an order to people in the plantation for replanting. Meaning the timber, we know the specifics that we know, like, okay, if we have taken these cubic meters of timber to build a 3-bedroom house, we shall need these quantities of trees to be replanted in an area. But to sum it up for you, for each house you build, you will sustain an equivalent of a football field that is full of trees. Compare this to a Nambole Stadium or Mandela Stadium that is full of trees for each house we are building. In other words, that's 0.5 hectares of the plantation that we are sustaining. So there will be no deforestation. Instead, we are causing reforestation, meaning every time we are building, someone is planting because that's their business. Every time, like we are taking sugar, someone will be replanting more sugar canes. So the process keeps on sustaining each other. The different models and designs we are using are categorized into different names. We have monopitch. Those are houses with flat roofs and they are from 1 bedroom up to 3. Then we have the gable types. Gable is like a triangular roof. A triangular roof whereby the roof is slanting on either sides. This side the roof is slanting, okay, they are slanting equally, forming a V-shaped kind of a roof, or it's a triangle. So then we also have the crescent roof. Crescent roofs are those roofs whereby one roof is slightly higher than the other, or you can call it something like a French cut. So that kind of overlapping roof whereby this roof is slightly higher and this one slightly lower, so that that difference, there is a glass. We put a glass which we call the crescent windows. That's what we call the crescent roof. So all these range from 1 bed up to 4 bedrooms. However, should you come and you say, I want to build for me a studio, but in future I would like to add on up to 3. These houses are incremental. Today you build a studio, tomorrow you call us and say I want to add it to make it a 3-bedroom. We can add all these rooms without breaking anywhere, but also in a short period of time. The period it takes to build a house is maximum 4 months. And I can break this down for you. The first month, you are going to make an order and we are going to be doing site planning. Site planning is very important for the long-term stability and also durability of your house, and also how you will feel inside that atmosphere in a particular house. Why? The positioning of the house is done in relation to how the nature of the land is. So you don't have to feel this heat of the sun just because the house was placed without considering those aspects. So in the first month, site planning is done. Second month, we place the procurement for all the materials like the timber, the doors, everything. Third month, we are doing the prefabrication. Prefabrication, we are making the house in the factory, putting together all the pieces of the puzzle. And then in the last month, we bring the house and assemble it for final placement. From our research and what other scientists have written about the timber construction, this timber structure can last for over 100 years. Why 100 years? Because timber goes through a very excellent treatment process, which we call pressure treatment. Pressure treatment ensures that each part of the timber is treated with a preservative that will keep it against any agents of deterioration, especially the biological agents. Then the kiln drying will remove the moisture, reducing the percentages up to like 12%, meaning about 88 has been removed, and you are only remaining with just a well-dried piece of timber. This will not be affected by weather or any other agent that will cause rotting. Then when you combine all this and how we use already mature trees, the house itself will last for over 100 years. In Uganda, the houses you can benchmark them from, if you go to Makerere, you will see structures that were built long ago, around 1920s, and they have been standing. You go to Kasese, all those places. They are very durable because the materials we are using are all treated, and they have been researched in a way or prepared in a way that they are not going to be just for temporary living. You may think this is a house you are going to put there after 5 years. No, it's a house that you can even pass on to your next generation. So they are durable, 100 years. We are using quality screws, a screw which will sink to the bottom of the ocean and it will not rot. All these things make it. The iron sheets we are using actually also, they are not going to rust. So all these things are built to last long and not temporarily. You may need to complete the internal finishes yourself if you like that as an option. However, we can also complete them for you. For instance, if you feel like maybe you don't want to do it at this very particular moment, but you want to do it later for yourself, anyone can do the completion for the bathrooms, you can do the completion for the kitchen, but for these other things like electricals, we can install them for you, and you just need to just buy these bathroom appliances like toilet seats, tiles, and someone fixes them for you. Termites are very common in most parts of Uganda, but we solved that completely by using the CCA treatment, which is a pressure treatment process. So each part of the wood is treated with that preservative, just like you have seen some electric poles. You see they have that greenish color. That greenish component is the same to the timber that we are using here. So all trees, all the timber pieces, each grain or each vessel has to have that treated. So it's not a paint, but it's something that goes inside the core of the wood. It's a sort of high concentration. Termites will never have any opportunity to damage your timber, so it will be there however much termites are trying to build their mounds. Fire is handled in a way that, first of all, timber itself is cladded. By cladding, I mean it has that layer which can resist fire from exceeding other layers. So if timber has been burnt on the surface, it will form a charring or charcoal-like layer, and that charcoal-like layer is carbon, which will prevent fire from spreading to other parts. Our prices range from 31.5, that is a studio without the finishes, or 38.4 for a studio with finishes. But the bigger the house, the bigger the price. So you will find that from 38.4 up to 137 million. That is a 4-bedroom house. What comes in that price will be the paint works, the door, the structure itself, the roof sheets. The interior doors are there, the windows are there with the mosquito nets, and then the electrical wiring and the sockets are there, the plumbing connections are there. So what will not be involved in that price will be the sanitary furniture. Sanitary furniture, these are the tiles, the shower tray, the sink, but we leave for you the provision so that when you buy them, anyone can fix them. Also, the kitchen is not involved. You pay in 4 months because also our construction has been designed to be in 4 months maximum. So you pay 10% in the first month, then the remaining 3 months you pay a percentage of 30% of the total price. Dear our listeners and viewers from Betty's prestigious property show, I feel this is the right time for us to change our minds and come to the new technology that has never been here before, but it has been adopted in other countries. When you move out there, you'll find that the people actually who are giving us funds as a country are living in this kind of housing. This house, like I've mentioned, it can be built in a short period of time, and you can make it temporarily for the number of years you want it to be. You may choose to make it there for 8 years, but should you change your mind and you say, I built a house in Mutungo, I'm now taking it to Mukono, you can take away the house and leave the land intact. It's a movable house. If you are in the business of Airbnb, cottages, or you want to build residential units, we are the right people to contact. Feel free to reach out to us, 0702 455522. Thank you so much for listening. We look forward to partnering with you and achieving this dream together.